different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
If you can see the possibility of a bigger future, if you have dreams of making things happen, if you have hope for creating a better world, bring it to Butler University. Because this is where learning becomes experiencing and doing becomes accomplishing. Where intellect is recognized, talent is refined, aspirations are realized, and every bit of your potential is unleashed.
Welcome, everybody, to the 2021 EGFC League Championships for Collegiate Rocket League. I am Dana Taco. Joined with me is Quantum Death Cat. We have Marquette and Butler coming at you for the first game on the night. This is the best of 16 of these EGFC League Championships, the whole semester, and really even last semester for some of these teams, culminating in this single elimination bracket. Quantum, how you doing and how you feeling about this first matchup?
Listen, man, I am feeling amazing because we played for 16 weeks, right, of this to go back and forth. We saw the teams go up in the ranks. We saw teams like Colorado really coming out of their own earlier, like later on the season, right, in the second half. We'll have Colorado, I think, later on, right? And but right now, Butler versus Marquette, and both of these teams, they started off strong, and they fell off a bit during the final few weeks here, but they did have a good enough start to the season where they're still in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think it's going to have to be interesting to see both these teams being very close in rankings, really match differential as well. Both Marquette and Butler both actually being incredibly close to each other within one game difference, the exact same game record. So going into this one, it's really all on the line. Who can execute cleaner? And hopefully we'll have a great series that might even go the distance if record is really any indication to go off of.
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that this will go the distance. Both of these teams, when they played versus each other, if I recall correctly, this was a 5-game series during the regular season in the earlier fall series. So if these two guys can come together here once again and provide a show like they did in the fall, I have no doubt in my mind that people will be entertained.
And we'll have to see what these players do pop off with. We've seen Butler be very explosive on offense, but right now they're the ones on defense. Joshua sending one off the backboard from Marquette, sent a car off the crossbar, and then Joshua again will just send that one off the post. First couple shots coming in strong for Marquette, but they are not finding the back of the net.
No, that was definitely a strong start there, but every shot went off the post or was saved. Meanwhile, Sir Aaron comes in there, and that is a beautiful goal, beautiful find. The bump on his own teammate there, Joshua, can't get back in time.
That's a tough one, especially knowing that you had the defensive play, or at least it wasn't anything super dangerous in the moment, but it turns into something far more lethal once you make that mistake. Just shows how little error you really can tolerate in this level of play. So one mistake down and one goal on the board for Butler. And that's really their first foray into offense too. So looking back, if that's really how this game ends, Marquette, those missed opportunities in the beginning, really going to come back to sting.
Hopefully, though, they can come in here and tie it up sooner rather than later, because they did have good opportunities, but they need to finish it off here. And if they can continue on with an onslaughting offense, I have no doubt in my mind that they could even take this game as long as they keep their heads in it.
Right now, we've seen a little bit of a lull as the ball will hang in midfield. We will have one put a little towards goal, towards Astro, turned away. Sir Aaron will keep it a little more interesting. And though another ball will go out wide, it doesn't seem like Butler is really content with just keeping that one goal. They're trying to bust out, and Marquette is still struggling to really get anything out. Past that first foray with those initial couple shots, up until right now, they haven't had much an opportunity. That's an open net, and this time, Upa's going to put that one in.
That is beautiful, and of course you're not content with a 1-goal lead, because you know that Marquette can come in and just score on you like that if you make one mistake. And we're tied at 1, Taco, with 2:40 left on the clock, almost the halfway point.
Gotta get those contacts, and it's gonna be so unfortunate if you're not able to, as Kai just barely getting back off of that rough kickoff, and now another long ball forward. We'll see Marquette take it off the ceiling. Josh with a nice boost steal. Keeps it alive. The air dribble gets away. Kai will clear, but only right into Sanakar on the near post. Force a nice save out of Astro. The infield pass goes a little awry, and Sanakar will give that one away. However, Marquette looking a little bit more re-energized. I wonder, is this a type of team that's going to feed off of that positive energy? They got their goal, and now it's suddenly like that revitalizing aspect of their gameplay.
Right, exactly. And you want it to be revitalized, right? You want that aspect of their game to come back to them. You definitely don't want them to falter at the first hurdle, right? Because this is only game 1, and it's only the start. If they start doubting themselves right after that start, right, that was a little bit questionable with how many shots went off the post and all that, then this would be an easy game for Butler. And of course, there's so much Rocket League left to be played, and with a minute 20 left here, well, a minute 30 left, my bad, we still have at least 90 seconds of Rocket League for just this first game.
And Butler, the goals tell a story, the shots tell another, putting up 12 from Marquette to just only 1 coming in from Butler, make it 1 more for Marquette, and that one is going to be the lead.
And that is exactly what they wanted. They've been knocking on that door all game long. And Sir Aaron just can't back up in time. And that is the go-ahead goal. 75 seconds on the clock. Can Butler bring this back? Or will this be a 2-1 victory? Or will Marquette actually run with it? Well, it doesn't look like it, because Kai gets that beautiful pass from Sir Aaron. And Sir Aaron with some redemption.
Why sweat for all those extra shots when really 2 can do it? 100% shooting coming in from Butler. You can't really say the Marquette's defense playing at that 100%. How does that one get through immediately after they just got their lead? Now it's just been swiped away, and in the final minute, we're still going to have to search for the go-ahead, and Kai might bust one open. What a double tap from a tight angle.
Oh, wow, Kai! That looked like it was going to be a pass towards the middle, but he does it by himself! Kai with the shot of the century there. Probably not, but when it comes to EGF, that is one hell of a shot, and it gives them the 1-goal lead. 3 for 3 on shots and goals.
Now we'll see if Marquette has anything to say about that. Sanakar, double tap attempt. No luck on that. Upa can't get that one through. Astro advances it upfield, gets a nice little dunk that will go into the corner, burn some more time off that clock. Son of Carr. Another tap down, a little bit of deflection. That's an open double. Upa coming up for it, but Kai plays savior. That's the sideline. On the counter, they're just going to lob one deep. Astro up, but cut away by Son of Carr. Another hit by Sir Aaron will keep it in the blue half, or the Marquette half. And it's just, again, really, whenever Butler goes forward, they are a threat, and Marquette has had so many opportunities, and yet is still behind, and it might even get worse. Just wide, but even with that, they only have 5 seconds to get this full court carry with a spike from Kai. I don't think that one's really much going to be in the cards.
No, it wasn't going to be, but that one that almost went in. That was going to be nuts. Oh my goodness, and we had more time on that clock, but that would have probably been saved had the game actually been played, still kept playing, because those players did give up in the end, and it showed. They were all in their own zone. They were all in the crease, right? And they weren't getting out. With 5 seconds left, you need those 2 players to push out. One player needs to get that ball out, and the 2 others just need to push. And that's exactly what they didn't do. And because of that, Marquette just got stuck in their own zone. It's a 3-2 win for Butler. A come-from-behind win from Butler. It looked like Marquette had it in the bag, but Butler coming in with some amazing shots right off of the kickoffs.
And some of those shots are fantastic, and there's not much you can do about that except for just the pressure. However, Marquette, you can't just be a reed in the wind where you're getting all these shots, but then the moment you get pushed back, it's just a goal. You can't allow 3 goals off 3 shots. That efficiency is just not going to be enough. And now with a single elimination turning in the back of their minds, they're already down 1. Now the adjustments coming in here in game 2, really, I think are going to set the tone for this series.
Yeah, the tone is definitely set now. Butler being the defensive team. Can Marquette's offense overpower the defense of Butler here? It all comes down to that, really, because the counterattacks, when it comes the other way around, Upa makes a save. That's the first one for Marquette there, and he almost didn't do it in time.
But a nice goal line save to be able to preserve this level playing ground, and that's exactly what they want. We're getting a lot of shots, maybe not a lot of success. However, keep it as close as possible because, as we've seen, Butler does not need a lot of daylight to run into with their first attack moving forward into the corner, but Joshua will turn that away. Another one in the midfield will be tapped along by Upa. Josh trying to get a little tap out, however, that one will not find its mark, and Kai will send it right on back. So settling, I would say, into that little bit of the mid-game where both teams trying to find their footing over Butler in classic Butler fashion, almost getting a dunk to go right in.
Oh, and that's a good demo on Joshua there, and that's going to stop the push. That's going to stop the offense. The ball will be cleared out. Joshua does get back in time, and I mean, that's a beautiful play. These Butler guys, it doesn't seem like they're the stronger team, but yeah, they're in their own zone a lot, but they're not allowing Marquette to really install themselves in that offense, right? Marquette come in, they're in the zone, but they don't have any pressure, right? It's weird to say you're in the offensive zone, but you have no offensive pressure.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they can advance down there fairly successfully. They just really can't get those second and third touches on offense. They can't really generate anything too dangerous out of Butler, but you can't say the same for Butler, forcing out a goal line save only for so long, though. Kai coming through for number 1.
Oh my goodness, Upa, what a save there. Barely gets a touch, so Joshua can get it out. But Kai, he's there. He's got the broom, and he sweeps it into the trash can. It's 1-0.
Yeah, a little bit of a garbage goal there. Great saves coming out from Marquette, but you need a little bit more than that to hang in. That would have helped off the kickoff, but Joshua lurking back post almost got there, but Kai, like always, in the right position. And Kai really has been that player for Butler so often throughout this season, making plays, and we're seeing it's getting done on the offensive side, but also on the defensive as well. Really just all-around player, and no surprise to see them come this far in the season.
I mean, you talk about Kai, I mean, you could say the same for Sir Aaron, right? You could definitely say that Sir Aaron does carry his own weight around. He's been there since the beginning. And yes, maybe we call him by different names from time to time. And at the start, we didn't even know how to say his name. We were calling him Siren, and you know, like no offense to the guy, but he's absolutely nuts when he's on his game.
Certainly so. Names set aside, he lets his play do the talking, and he's going to do it some more with a nice save to the corner. Sanakar is actually going to generate a double commit. The long clear down is that number 2. It is. Kai gets a second, but more importantly, Butler even further on their way to taking game 2.
That is a good pinch. Kai bides his time and actually waits for the touch there from the Marquette player off the wall, and that is just beautifully done. Very well played there. I think that was Son of Carr that was on the wall. Very well played and beautiful timing. Just like that timing off the pitch. Will Sir Aaron make the save? Yes, he will. Continue on. It's 2-0 with 90 seconds on the clock.
A nice little open hit there coming in for Upa, but Sir Aaron comes up with a nice save. Tap in the middle. Kai can't touch that Sanakar. Open shot. And finally, not going to miss that one. 1-goal game again with 82 seconds on the clock.
1-goal game. 82 seconds on the clock. Marquette will be trying to come back here. Of course, they're down by 2 goals. Why wouldn't they throw caution to the wind here? They need to score these goals, right? And so They know that, well, we're on offense right now. We're only allowing 2 goals every game-ish, 2 to 3 goals every game-ish, right? So if we go full out on the offense here and go full balls to the wall here, for sure, we could definitely get another goal on the offense here and maybe even surprise a few people.
Now that's going to be a giveaway. A bump in the backfield. Joshua on the near post. That one's not going to go in. Son of Card denied. A golden opportunity will be shunned by the Marquette offense, or more importantly, repelled by the Butler defense. They're not over yet, though. Joshua just marches it straight through. Whereas I thought it was over, it was just the beginning. We have a tie ball game.
And look at this. All 3 players from Marquette are in the offensive zone at all times. What did I say? That they needed to, that they were going to stop being on defense even more than they were being before, right? They risked it a lot of times. They were already pushed up to the midfield for the last man there. And at this point, they just go full on offense, right? They don't go defense any. And to the people who say defense wins championships, well, look at what's happening here. The offense absolutely carrying Marquette here. Who needs defense when you got offense? What is this, the 80s Oilers?
If you score more than the other team, you can't lose. So
exactly.
That's really the strategy being taken in for Marquette. They're still generating more and more shots. That's a double commit, but the double tap just not going to quite find its target. Under 10 seconds now, and we still see Marquette able to get one more push potentially. Instead, we'll leave it on the sidewall. Joshua will keep that one high. Maybe a fading chance, however, spiked into the ground. We'll see our first overtime of the series. Marquette trying to tie up this one up.
Last game could have been gone to overtime, but 2 quick goals there by Butler were unanswered. This time around, the 2 quick goals by Butler were answered. We got ourselves a tie 2-2 game, and Upa brings it back there with his first goal of the game, made all the saves during the first 5 minutes, comes in with a beautiful redirect. 16 seconds into overtime, the series is tied at 1.
What a beautiful hit, too. The moment we actually saw Upa get a approach on the ball, they whiff, ball gets spiked into the ceiling. I completely took my mind off Upa because I thought that attack was over, but instead they landed, they perfectly jump, and then using that air roll gets a redirect. That is textbook and exactly what Marquette needs. So similar scoreline to game 1, but now the roles are reversed. We do have a ball game on our hands, Quantum, and I'm excited to see what happens. This time the shots very even, but Marquette actually finishing them off, and at least a little bit more often. Defensive woes, I think, are still there, but a much needed improvement headed into game 2.
Definitely, especially with the 6 saves from Marquette there. They had more saves than Butler, and even despite that, I still feel like Butler were the more defensive team, and all their shots came off of just coming back, right? What is it? Counterattacks. Think about it in French. The contre-attaque. I'm like, how do you say that in English? Well, obviously, counterattack. Come on. Get your head in the game, Gabe. 5 more minutes on the clock, and with the series tied at 1, we're having a minimum of 4 games being played in total here. And so we have 10 more Rocket League minutes minimum to be played.
Yeah, we'll have to see which way they do flow. So Butler looking fairly efficient, but ran into a bit more of a wall in game number 2. I think Marquette tried to wake up. I think game 1s can be a little tough to predict because it's teams trying to warm up into each other. And now we're really starting to see both teams showing off what each can offer. Now we'll have to see really the adjustments, the fine-tuning required to be able to take the rest of the series. So Marquette keeps working that backboard as they have repeatedly throughout the series, however, will be turned away, and Sir Aaron on the other side tries to set up Astro. That's no touch. Kai, golden opportunity, and that one gonna be off the post. What an opportunity, just gone awry.
Sadly, just slightly wide, and it goes off the post, but that might not be. That's a good save there, and it's cleared out. Ooh, that was close as well.
Another save there off the crossbar. Both teams going for the jugular on some of these attacks. The infield passes are not there. Just right off the backboard, right off the post repeatedly. And so Uba will try to slow things down. Joshua likewise off the sidewall. Instead, will just be lobbed high. Kai holding it up. That's dropping straight down. Astro can't get the read, and Joshua will be able to march that one out into the corner, getting closer and closer. You can't help but think a goal has to be somewhere on the horizon. Another pass across, but Astro just can't stretch that far.
That is so close to going in again, and oh my goodness, they're knocking on the door. Both teams are trying their best to score here. And I mean, 2 minutes have passed almost, and the shots are just back and forth, back and forth. And the defense on both sides has been there. They've been keeping at least one person on defense during this entire time. And that is the key and important part there, is that they have defense. Both teams do now. So it's not all offense for Marquette, and it's not all defense for Butler. As Sir Aaron, he messes that one up. The shot is wide. And Son of Card can't put the rebound in either.
Unfortunately, that one is going to have to be a miss. Tough angle, though, on the double, fading away to the back post. Now on defense. On the other side, that's a little bit of trouble for Marquette. They're able to get the saves now. Joshua and Son of Car getting a little tangled up, but it will survive and advance up just a bit. Good dunk by Kai. Might set up a shot. Lobbed over the goal. Astro already up for it. They're denied. Sir Aaron on the follow. Too weak. Kai, third time the charm to the top shelf, and that's number 1.
You said it. Third time is the charm. And I mean, look at this. Beautiful touch there. And what do you want Upa to do? He tried his best. He quick aerialed there, but he just wasn't quick enough. It's like a Western shootout there, right? Whoever pulls the pistol up first and fires is going to win that one. Upa. He holstered out too slow. What a save there by Astra as well. Upon Son of Car. And he will pass it over to Kai.
That is several times now we've seen Marquette go down, have a great opportunity, and it's just not quite good enough. They're getting it on target, but it's a difference between on target and actually counting for your goal. You just need a little bit better of a finishing touch at the end of a lot of these attacks. However, they're far from out of this game. 1 goal with 90 seconds to go, and touches like that could go a long way, but saves like that equally are important to keep Butler in this game. Still looking for that equalizer on Marquette heading into the final 80 seconds.
Final 80 seconds here, and we've got ourselves still that 1-0 game. Butler has been the lead most of the time during this series, right? They have more time in the lead than their opponents currently are, but it's still a 1-1 series at the end of the day, and no team has had a 2-goal lead other than Butler in the opening stages of the second game. So, in the closing stages, my bad, of the second game. So, we've got ourselves quite the tight game this time around, with just 1 goal separating both of these teams after 4 1/4 minutes of play.
And it's going to stay pretty tense, I think, until the end. However, Butler just trying to make it to the end with their lead. Another clear's coming out from Kai to buy him a little more space. Although it will be a giveaway to Joshua, who will ramp that one over. One defender off the post. Son of Car, early jump. They can't get it past. And Astro, last defender, takes a 50 just to keep things controlled. Final 15, they'll send it onto the backboard. Joshua to the corner. Sir Aaron lurking will try to slow this play down again. Another deflection, and every single one of these just taking off those final seconds. Even more pressure coming out from Butler, and that might just do it with that 50. It's floating on target. It will not go in, but they don't need any more. Butler taking game 3 and the series lead right back.
What happened to my voice there? I saw the ball, and I thought it was going in to add insult to injury, but there was no salt in the wound there. I mean, the wound, it's already pretty deep there for Marquette. The offensive team absolutely shut down on the offense this time around. They were stuck in the midfield a lot, and they never established pressure on the offensive side of the field, and that cost them. They could not score a single goal, and Butler are 1 game away.
And at this point, it's tough because you're saying, well, Butler looked nice in that game, but they're still facing a lot of pressure. This is exactly what you'd expect out of teams that are adjacent to one another in the standings. It's going to be a knockout, drag-out brawl of a series. That's exactly what we're seeing. Another 1 goal is all it takes to separate these teams, and we might see one for Marquette right off the bat. That's deflected, and Kai will send that one away. So good start for Marquette, trying to build on that one as their backs are against the wall. They have no more lives left.
No more lives left, and I mean, they don't need to be perfect. They just need to be better than their opponents, right? So they just need to score that one extra goal. What happened to those 80s Oilers I was talking about? Where's the scoring from them, right? Where's your Wayne Gretzky, the offense? You need it to come back here. You need to beat out the defense. You need to be able to get some pressure. You can't just give the ball away the second you get in the offensive zone and get a shot off.
But passes like that can always be dangerous. Kai's the only one that gets to this one. And now Son of Car will have to retreat to clear that one back. A little bit of a giveaway. However, both teams just adjusting into each other as the first minute has come and gone with just the occasional pressure. Good first shot coming from Kai. Astro on the follow off the near. Son of Car tries to get it clear. Good pressure coming in from Butler to keep things interesting in this back corner for Marquette. Really struggling to get this one out as Butler trying to set up some camp, but eventually everyone has to leave the campsite eventually, and Marquette will open up a little bit into the midfield. But even then, Butler doing a good job locking things in, and that's really what I think Butler excels at. Once they get on offense, very good at maintaining pressure and very good at forcing mistakes, but it helps when you can hit stuff like that.
Definitely does. I mean, look at that pinch there. And Kai, he goes up. Upa doesn't go up in time. And that's another time where Kai goes up in the air just faster than Upa and has a faster reaction time. Upa just hesitating that little bit. And in those shootouts, in those 1v1 situations, you can't hesitate. And sadly, Upa just thought about the game a little bit too much as Kai was going to bring in that ball. But that's a free goal for Marquette there. Look at this offensive opportunity here. This is a complete mess up from Kai as Upa and Joshua got knocked into the net by the Butler player. This should be 2-0. Instead, we're tied at 1 because of the misplay by Kai.
And Kai not getting quite the touch they want, but also that third defender, he has both his teammates inside the opponent's net, and they just go for it. Unfortunately, the moment that ball just glances by them, that's a clean breakaway and really a freebie for Marquette. Really, the easiest goal they've had all series. So I don't know how many they're going to be getting like that for the rest of this series, but Butler certainly shaking their heads on that one. They've given up their lead. And as we know, goals come at a premium throughout this series. We do not know how many more are going to come, but you can't be just handing them over. Butler trying to get something back with some sustained pressure, as we know they're so good at. Kai lurking for a shot. However, that one going wide. Approaching halftime now, and still 1-1 as Marquette tries to advance into the far corner.
That could have been another goal there, but because of that double commit, but the shot that was missed by Kai, again, Kai just having those little miscues there that aren't really, how can I say this, that are not normally him, right? He's just missing these balls, uncharacteristic of him. There you go. And he's absolutely gone out and shown us that he's able to hit these insane shots. And so it makes me wonder when he misses shots like that. It was a little bit wide, right? So you just want those on net. If you're not capable of getting that shot on the net, you should call out your teammates like Astru, who can be there to shoot it on net. And look at that. Kai, he does find it. Sometimes he does miss. You obviously can't be perfect. With 106 seconds left on the clock here, Kai comes in and... oh, wow. That's crossbar and down. Bar down and in.
You can't really hit any sweeter than that, Quantum. That is a flawless strike from Kai. And granted, struggles with consistency are there, but when they are needed, they do stand up and deliver a great performance. They have time to add even more. A good pass off the near post. That one's rejected. Sir Aaron from the tight angle won't be able to get that one to go. Astro keeping things alive, albeit temporarily into the corner. Another couple touches from Butler, just trying to burn time. And again, doing very well to slow down Marquette's transition game with only 75 seconds remaining. You gotta wonder how many more times Marquette can be able to go up the field. This is their last game. If they do not win this series and their season is over.
They need to pull something out of a hat here for sure. They can't just sit here and take this laying down. They need to come in here. With 1 minute left, they need to absolutely show us why they deserve to stay in here. And look at that, up in the air! The double tap is stopped by the wall, and it's going to be cleared out by Astro. Oh no, that is so close to tying that up.
Another long clear coming through. Joshua Grit's great contact. It's going to test Astro at least to catch this one. They do get nice contact initially, with Josh moving up. Gets a good deflection. Upa up for it. Dunks Kai. That's going to waterfall down. Who is there for Marquette? Only Upa again. Everyone retreating out for boost. We only got 20 seconds remaining. A couple players go. It's an open net. There's nobody there. And Astro gets another clear out. That one might have actually been the moment, but we will never know. Is the final 5 seconds. Marquette with the full length carry attempt. They're going to get one more chance off the backboard. Upa's there. No contact, no catch. And that's how it ends. Butler taking the series 3-1, and Marquette so close, but not close enough.
Oh my goodness. Opportunity after opportunity is given to them. They created their own chances. And that's what I love about Marquette and Butler alike. They could create their own chances, right? They force errors from their opponents. And Marquette came in here with some insane skills on the offense, and Butler shut them down. They stopped them from ever establishing offense, and the counterattacks were just too strong. And at some point, Butler just came in and decided, you know what? We can display our own offense, right? Go into the offensive zone ourselves and absolutely show off what we can do. And that's what they did. And I mean, that just messed up with Marquette. Marquette had their opportunities, but they kept it until the last few moments before coming alive, right? They didn't play the whole 5 minutes. You saw Butler, they played a whole 5-minute game. And meanwhile, Marquette, it just seemed like they were dead for the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's a brutal way to end the series. However, can't say it's not deserved from Butler. We've had players step up. We had talked about Kai and Sir Aaron, but of course, it's a full team game. Astro stepping up when they needed to, and they are able to edge out that victory. They'll be marching on. They'll be going on to the next round of our playoffs. However, we still have more games to play, and we will have another quarterfinal coming up. We're going to throw you guys to a brief break, potentially seeing if we can get someone in for an interview. But either way, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here with some more 2021 EGFC Collegiate Championship here for Rocket League.
Innovation. We're over it. Time to do something. What's next? Let's build this team. Launch this place. Find this fix. And electrify this entire community. This is Cincinnati. And guess what?
Next lives here.
Welcome back, everybody, to match number 2 of the evening here on EGF Rocket League. This is still the 2021 EGFC League Championships. Rocket League. I'm Dana Taco. That is still Quantum Deathcat to my side. And we just saw Butler take down Marquette in the round of 16, 3-1. Very close series. And that's really what I'm expecting about this next one as well. We got the newcomers, the spring split joiners in Cincinnati, going again against Colorado, 5th versus 12th seed.
And Colorado had a bit of a resurgence. Meanwhile, Cincinnati were new to EGFC, right? And so they came in and they really surprised everyone here. And so Cincinnati are a very strong team. Colorado themselves, I think they were able to sweep both Marquette and Butler. So I think this is a major matchup. This is going to be very scary.
So going into this match, we have the countdown, and we will be kicking things off. Of course, Cincinnati going through our Eastern Conference tournament, really one of those lead-up qualifiers into this league championship, and they lost to our number 1 seed, University of Delaware. So certainly they've showed that they have that championship pedigree, just fallen short. For Colorado, of course, not going to make it easy, as none of these playoff teams really know meaning of the word quit here, as we're starting off with some nice fast-paced play out of Cincinnati. However, we'll be turned away from Colorado as another ball will go onto the backboard. A little bit of ping pong now as this ball is taking laps around the field.
Who doesn't like a little bit of ping pong, though? Yeah, it goes around a bit on the field, but that just means that both teams are feeling each other out. That's a nice shot that comes on net for Colorado there, but oh wait, which one is it? Which is UC? Is that University of Cincinnati or is it University of Colorado? Which one is it? Oh no!
You said UCall. We'll just or we can just use the full names. Either way, these teams are close both in name, skill, and well, not necessarily rank, but granted, most of that is coming from tournament finals. Cincinnati really showing off why here, as they've got some nice initial pressure, and they'll even get that first goal being clapped in there by J-Dimes.
That is a beautiful goal burst. Pops it up in the air off the back wall, and that is J-Dimes all day long. I think Burst is new on this team, actually. I've not seen that name before.
Well, sub or not, making at least a decent impression so far. They're able to make the defense and offensive machine work efficiently, which is always so key in the team game that is Rocket League, that free form movement. But gonna have to be careful. They're not just giving this ball away. J-Dimes, maybe not enough boost in the tank to really reach this one. Starvin with a nice pass into Flover, and a great save by J-Dimes, just not good enough on the accuracy, and we will stay. Only one goal in it, but maybe not for long. And unfortunately, Trix gets the credit, but that was hidden by a Cincinnati defender.
And we're tied at 1 after a nice pinch off of the ceiling, and how unfortunate for Ezio there. Oh my goodness, trying to get the ball cleared out, but the Unreal Engine, instead of giving him an Unreal save or clear, gave him an Unreal own goal.
That's so painful, getting that Unreal own goal. It's the only time you don't want it to be Unreal. And the same might be for Cincinnati. It can't be real. Not a roller down the field into the open net. Not like this, Quantum.
Oh my goodness, and that was just gonna slow roll its way down at 62 kilometers an hour. What is that, like 40 miles an hour? Oh my goodness, that's as fast as my grandma goes down the highway, you know? It's like...
That's a casual drive to the grocery store, Quantum.
Yeah, exactly.
That's certainly painful when you want to make your offense, or rather the opponent's offense, work a little bit harder for their goals. Maybe like shots like that one. Fortunately, they've turned away. J-Dimes over the top, open net. However, they won't be able to follow this. Longer ball out. Trix will only yield a deflection. Onto the backboard, Starvin goes for the double. They can't hit it. Flover taps it upfield. Ezio beats him out. There's a 2-on-0. Burst has a shot. They just beat out Starvin to that near post. And we have a tie game.
We got ourselves a tie game here, and look at this. Some beautiful passing plays. The net is completely wide open, and I don't think goals in this series will be at a premium, unlike what we saw last series.
Yeah, they're really just flying in right now, QDC. Like, we're seeing a lot of shots coming in, and at times it seems, because yes, the pressure is good, we see some nice passing, but other times just kind of defensive carelessness. The ball's kind of just gone in. We have double commits at midfield that yield open breakaways. It's just not really quite the quality you'd expect. However, like we said, game ones, as we say in previous years, and really every series of Rocket League, it's hard to say how they're going to predict things down the stretch, mainly just because it is both these teams just trying to get used to each other, and certainly plenty of growing pains in that process.
For sure, there's going to be plenty of growing pains in a process like that. Let's see, though, if they can continue going along here, and let's see what they can do, right? I mean, with 100 seconds left on the clock, there's plenty of time for either of these teams to be able to outgrow those growing pains and turn them into growing gains.
Get rid of the growing pains, turn them into growing I actually love that. Quantum, I'll give you any merch sales that I get off of putting that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt?
Yeah, just get the EGF's blessing. They can use it as a distributor. But, I mean, it's a good saying because it's a good series so far. Back and forth, we settled into, you could say a lull, but I think it's both these teams are trying to test the armor on the defense of both sides. And finally, we have a great pass in. I think Trix actually might have saved that. So Cincinnati getting a little bit of a break. It's still in their corner, though they are holding strong. One lobbed into the middle for Burst. They'll tap that to the far side again with a little flick. That one will buy some more time. They will finally get it clear out. Under a minute remaining. Somewhat level shots. And might be looking at a game 1 overtime if things keep carrying on like this.
I mean, it all depends on what happens in the next few minutes here. Well, next few seconds here with a demo in the net like that. Off the back wall, this will go, but it will not go on net.
Fortunate for sure, and I can say the same about that clear, though. That just sets up Flover for the pass. Great awareness, though. J-Dimes bumping out the mid player. On clear from Cincinnati might be one of their last chances. Just going to be touched by Tricks. J-Dimes with the lob over the top. It's not on target. Burst at a double commit. So that chance will go wanting. Ezio trying to get this middle. J-Dimes just puts it on the near post, but as that ball hits the ground, we will be indeed seeing overtime in game number 1. We talked about a close series, and here we are needing to go into some added minutes to be able to tease these two teams apart.
Hey, we got some amazing showdowns in the first half of this game, right? It was 2-2 very early on, and we saw all the offense they could give us, and now it's all about the defense. Both teams showing us that their rotations aren't just offensive, they can be defensive as well, and both teams now are more defensively minded. I said that the games here might not have goals goals less at a premium. They might be found more easily. I mean, at this point, if the series continues on like this, right, we might see a minimum of 10 more minutes of just this, of goals being at a premium. Amazing defense, back and forth, quick action. That shot is wide, but the rebound might be found. No, it's cleared.
And so Cincinnati trying to just mount an attack, but right now they're just struggling to get anything substantial on these hits. Just kind of lobs near the goal on the far side. Flover trying to set up an air dribble. They're going to go underneath everybody, but it tucks off the post. Everyone anticipating some contact. None came, and that was almost the deciding goal. Colorado still going wanting for one of the closest opportunities so far. Cincinnati, there's their closest. J-Dimes gets rejected. What a save on the goal line. We're going to keep on playing after 90 seconds.
That is an amazing save there. Off of the goal line. It goes off of his hood. It goes off of the crossbar. And the shot. It's on net. It's rolling on the goal line. Where is it? It's cleared out. And it's into the corner now.
Unbelievable. Both these teams playing life and limb really here on defense, barely getting these chances out. And we're going to see at least a little bit of a slowdown as this one will go into the corner for a long clear. Ezio extending the play. That's one miss. That's a second, but Flover gets another save out to the side. We will keep playing, but both teams playing with hairstring margins. Another crucial save, and J-Dimes will send one downfield.
Opportunity there for Ezio. He puts it into the corner, but oh my goodness, both these teams have their opportunities, and I mean, you need to capitalize on your opportunities and mitigate your mistakes. Right now, both teams have made mistakes, but neither team can capitalize on the mistakes of their opponents. And so we've got some amazing back and forth so far. Lots of 50s and lots of action no matter where you look. Every few seconds, there's a nice shot, there's a nice play, there's a nice pass. Look at the moves. It goes up into the ceiling there. And Starvin, no, he doesn't find a teammate at all. Oh my goodness, this is going to go back and forth, and the risks taken by both of these teams, especially when going on the offense. You can see there that Colorado just don't care about their defense all too much. They have that third man pushed up all the way into the midfield line, sometimes even higher.
Starvin will try to take one more, gets a deflection to the ceiling. Ezio tries to carry this one. Burst, early jump, gonna get rejected. Over just getting only 50s, and a couple more misses coming through. That's two players out of the play. Burst is needed, and they will come up big. Another touch, but the game is still not out, or rather the ball's still not out of their half. Burst just trying to hold things up as Cincinnati gathering some boost. J-Dimes over everyone. The double tap, what a rejected yet again. What a save by Tricks.
You know, when I said 10 minutes, I meant game 2 and 3. I did not mean overtime. What is this? Are we going to actually get a 10-minute overtime at this point? Because 4 minutes in, and neither team wants to budge. One player makes a mistake, and someone else has their back. Right? These teammates here are not giving in There's no double mistakes being made. Only one mistake, and then the other teammate bails them out, like the bank does after a millionaire puts some bad investments in. Flover, couldn't he have waited one more second so we could have had a meme time? No. He didn't want to wait the extra second. No, why? Because or else that was going to be saved. Ezio, so close to that one, but so close doesn't mean good enough for the save.
And great play by Colorado. And EGF always bringing that premium viewer content, almost delivering an entire extra game to you. Unfortunately, couldn't last that extra 41 seconds. It's going to be ending with a 4-minute, 19-second overtime just to end at 3-2. A familiar scoreline as we saw with Butler and Marquette earlier. But this time, these teams, game number 1, going that far down the line. I lost count how many breathtaking goal line saves there were just in overtime, but really throughout that game 1. I mean, we of course have to play up that these teams are even, but this is a 5th seed and 12th seed, and it came through 4 minutes, the final goal to equalize. And Quantum, this is shaping up to be quite the matchup.
Here's the thing, the 5th and 12th seed, right? Yeah, they're very separated, but you have to think about one thing, is that Colorado played very poorly at the start. During the fall split, they played absolutely poorly, and I think they only got 1 win. And then they went out and they started wrecking face. They swept team after team after team, and it was sick to watch. And Colorado is rejuvenated, right? So yes, they're down there when it comes to their seeding, but they are not to be trifled with. Messed with, yes, but not trifled.
I wouldn't dare trifle with a team like that, and Cincinnati certainly will, though. They'll get their first goal on their first attack forward, so not going to have to wait long, or at least for the opener.
Oh, why couldn't this happen during the overtime? 15 seconds in, you know? Would have been sick. Instead, we got an extra 5 minutes, practically an extra game right in there. And, I mean, the first game goes the way of Colorado, but right now, it looks like Cincinnati coming in here with a little bit of heat, packing in some spice in those bites there. See if they can keep that up.
We'll have to at least do it from the graveyard temporarily, as some demos coming out onto their side, as they've also delivered onto Colorado. So both teams just getting out some frustrations. I mean, they thought they'd be over at a certain time in this series, and keep having overtimes like this. They're looking at a late shift. However, first minute has come around here, and really we've only seen Cincinnati get their shots. We haven't seen Colorado be able to really march forward and build anything so far. So game number 2 is at least starting with Cincinnati getting some nice looks, and for the most part turning away most dangerous things, as we'll see J-Dimes tap another one to the sideline, and Burst will extend it. And Starvin coming through will force J-Dimes into an awkward touch. Flover will go up for this one and forced around, but these aren't really shots, Quantum. It just seems like they're throwing it near goal. Cincinnati's doing a little bit better to be able to march things down and create dangerous chances, as we see 2 glance off the near post and go out.
So there's a saying in hockey, right? You can tell I love hockey, right? That there is no such thing as a bad shot, right? No matter how weak the shot is, someone might have a brain cramp, right? Someone might misplay the ball. Someone might just make a mistake, right? And so no matter how weak the shot is, no matter how weird you think that might be, if you have an opportunity to shoot and you don't have any other thing to do, right? Unless you can pass it back and try your chance again at coming back in to the offense and trying to keep the ball pressure in your own zone instead of just giving the ball away after the shot, then do it, right? But otherwise, take the shot, because you don't know who's going to mess up. You don't know who's going to make a mistake. These guys are great players, but even RLCS players will make mistakes.
Yeah, and now we're sitting at halftime, and we're not seeing many mistakes coming out from Cincinnati. Can't say the same about Boulder. Long shot almost finding its way in. The follow-up will be just glance off of the post, and Burst will be required to finish that one off. And right as we cross halftime, now we have Cincy here with a 2-goal lead.
2 goals ahead, and coming off of a little miscues there. As I said, mitigate your mistakes and, I mean, capitalize on the mistakes of your opponents, and that's exactly what they've done right there. capitalizing on the mistakes, the unfortunate mistake there of Colorado. And I mean, they mitigate their own. They don't make that many mistakes right now, and that's very good to see.
And it's just really about consistency. Can you keep that defense up? At least not for too much longer. They will be giving up their first. Flover, just a little too hot to handle on that shot.
Yeah, a little bit too much here. I mean, look at the double commit here, right? J-Dimes and Ezio both go up for this. Ezio would have... I don't know if he would have hit that ball, actually. It looked like he would have, but J-Dimes does get to it first, and he scores on himself. Another Unreal own goal there. The Unreal Engine physics sometimes giving you bounces that you wouldn't think you'd be able to hit, right? And some of these angles are just so weird! Oh, just like that one. It's just slightly off. Ezio can't put it on net. And how is this ball still in the zone? How can Bristol have that shot on net? Oh, that is a good save, but that shot should never come in the first place.
But it is coming in, and it will continue to march into the Colorado zone. Number 3 coming through, this time through J-Dimes.
Look at this fake here by Ezio. He fakes the shot. He sees J-Dimes coming through there, and he knows that there's going to be a double commit on the play because the defender needs to respect the shot. And respect the shot he did, but the shot wasn't on net. It was towards J-Dimes, and J-Dimes had a wide open net to look at thanks to the pass. Thanks to the respect given by the defender.
And we think of the flip reset, such a brilliant way to be able to fool a defender and put it over the top, but sometimes it baits in those defenders and allows you to get that nice little pass, as Cincinnati so beautifully just demonstrated for them. And they're looking for even more, a little bit of a combo there. Tricks just, I have no idea, dodging all the demos, but unfortunately they can't dodge the dunk. Ezio getting credited for this one, and that's a 3-goal lead now.
Another 3-goal lead at this point, and Ezio just dunking and burst, just looking at the net. He sees this ball rolling. He doesn't even go for the steal. He's just going to look at this one rolling in like a baseball player after hitting that home run shot.
And it's a tough one, certainly since we saw such a close game, but since this, Cincinnati found their footing, and they are very much on stable ground right now. They're looking strong on defense. They really, outside of that one little tell, that double commit, getting a little too eager on defense to clear that one out, they've really looked fairly solid. They haven't been forced into too many saves. They're cutting things off in midfield. This is more the Cincinnati team really deserving that high seed that we really expected and trying to show it off in game number 2. And right now, 30 seconds remaining, I think Colorado is going to have to start looking forward to game number 3. Cincinnati looks like they have this one firmly in their grasp.
I think Cincinnati are just more mad about the fact that they messed up so many opportunities during the overtime. And I mean, this is the culmination of everything, right? Just their anger, their frustration about that first game. As we go, I mean, at the end of this game here, we see that everyone is ready to go up, right? So everyone's ready for the next game. Let's see what they can bring us, because Colorado, they got beaten this one. Let's see if they can beat Cincinnati back here. It's tied at 1. At least 2 more games in the series, maybe more. Maybe we'll have another 5-minute overtime.
I mean, Cincinnati, they have twice the shots as Colorado, and they actually have more saves. The thing is that it really took a mistake coming out from Cincinnati to be able to give Colorado their goal. Colorado looked a lot less lethal on those chances. And you could say that was because Cincinnati was a little shaky on defense in game number 1. They were giving up some goals, like that roller we were kind of memeing on in game number 1. However, they've looked much better. If Colorado wants to get back into this, I need them to bust out the team plays. We saw them have little glimmers of that, little hints at the fact that they are looking infield. They're looking for more simplistic plays. However, it's just not quite enough. And game number 3, they're really going to have to return to that strategy. If Cincinnati's not allowing these solo plays to come through so cleanly, going to have to work together, because a team like Cincinnati is not in a charitable mood. They're not going to be giving you those goals, especially after a game like number 2.
No, so you're going to need to force some mistakes, right? If you can't, if your opponents aren't going to make any mistakes, right? You need to force those mistakes out. How do you do that? Well, you force plays. That's exactly what Marquette and Butler were doing to each other, right? They were trying to force mistakes. And when they scored, they were forced mistakes. And look at this, Trix. He forces that mistake right here with a good pop-up up in the air, and he forces that defender to go for it. And I mean, it looked like he was going to go and double tap that, but the defender does it for him.
Some of the nastiest shots you'll ever score in Rocket League are own goals sometimes. You're just so concerned with getting any touch on it that you don't realize you're about to hit up a nasty angle, and J-Dimes, unfortunately, will have to chalk that one up as a mistake. I won't chalk it up to Caster Curse because, you know, we have to live a little bit guilt-free as casters, but that's not the best way to start game number 3, although Colorado looking to take that momentum, move forward with it within the first minute and start and extend that with a nice fake. And Starvin trying to do it all themselves. Can't tuck that one in. The passing play, Flover able to gather the loose ball, and that's number 2 now for Colorado.
That should have been a goal a little bit earlier. I mean, look at this. All 3 of them buzzing in the crease. Where's the defense? It's absolutely gone. And, I mean, 2 goals. I mean, at least they got away with that one, right? Because if the defense was there properly, oh my, that would have been so sad. Not being able to score when all 3 players were in that offensive area.
And this is quite the response that you would expect out of a team that has gotten this far as Cincinnati, trying to extend things with the redirect. Instead, all across the middle, J-Dimes tries the high flick, Flover aggressive on it. Trix trying to extend things, only dunked away. First, as a player, they're lurking in the middle. Ezio gets it over the defender and under the bar. Number 2 coming in.
And I heard you say it, but I want to say it myself because that was sick. Yeah, he was very Flover aggressive there. And oh my goodness. Well, the lead is cut in half now, thanks to that goal there by Ezio. Beautifully done. And I mean, we're still early on in this game, right? We're not even halfway through. There's already 3 goals.
And we have certainly much more to play over a good little goal there from Cincinnati. And that comes from actually a passing play, but really thought it was going to be stuffed dead. But that really shows if you go with enough confidence, you can't just force that ball in. Exactly what Ezio did on that shot. So Colorado going to have to keep eyes in the back of their head here for the Cincinnati team. And Cincinnati is going to have to look out for themselves as well. Another double commit opens up Flover. Great pass down. The power on the shot not there. Will be turned away. Trix trying to keep it alive. Fortunately, yields out a save. Flover, though, on the follow will not be denied. Number 3 for Colorado.
And I think that's number 2 for Flover there. That is beautifully done. And a ball that's up in the air, and Ezio was about to be bumped by Trix anyway. No way Jose was going to make that save. And so not even halfway through this game, the goals just continue coming in.
And we're sitting at halftime just about now, and Colorado is looking very confident. They are barely even going back to midfield on these rotations. They'll hit another one across. Oh, no defender, or really no teammate there to collect on it. Ezio going up. They don't even make contact. J-Dimes and Burst have to double with a bounce into the corner. They'll at least be able to get something. Good shot, but well turned away. J-Dimes in the follow again off that near post and turned away. 2 minutes remaining. Cincinnati still looking for at least one more. They're getting good contact, but Colorado's defense holding strong so far.
Colorado is, they're holding on to this lead right now, but they got 120 seconds to keep on to this lead here. They're stealing the boost in the back there. That's so smart by Flover there, and it completely ruins the boost economy. And there you go, with that ball being in the corner, no one's got boost. How are they going to get this ball out? No one in the zone here for Cincinnati has boost, but neither does Starvin. So because of that, the ball can be cleared out.
Let's see J-Dimes try to wrangle this one, unfortunately only into the ceiling. Starvin has a dribble, taking a 50. They get a great 50. That's number 4. 100% of that ball just getting dunked right into that top shelf.
Oh, look at this pinch here. Oh, that is beautiful. And Burst just loses that 50, sadly. And I mean, that is as perfect as it gets, doesn't it? And 79 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time to come back, but 3 goals in 70 seconds. Not impossible, but Cincinnati are getting a taste of their own medicine, it seems.
One of these classic Rocket League, especially collegiate Rocket League scorelines right now. We have one game that has to go through 4 and nearly a third minutes to get a winner. Then the next one, a little bit of a blowout. The next one, a blowout the opposite direction, as they're trying not to repeat the same scoreline, but Cincinnati denied. However, another 4-1 scoreline, at least for right now, this time in Colorado. This series just swinging so wildly back and forth. Certainly makes for some entertaining viewing, and right now I'm basically on the edge of my seat trying to figure out where this series is headed. This game looking like it's going to go the way of Colorado as these seconds tick off. But what are you really seeing the differences here from Cincinnati coming off such a strong game and now really getting taught quite the lesson?
In this last minute, it's bad bounces. I mean, I don't know if you saw that. It should be 4-2. Let's be completely honest here. Flover absolutely rams up the behind of his teammate, sends him to Narnia, and somehow makes that save by accident. He accidentally made that save and got the ball cleared out. It was pretty funny actually looking at that. And I mean, the opportunities for both of these teams coming in here, Colorado just giving back what Cincinnati gave to them. And at the end of the day, Cincinnati just need the ball to go into the net with some lucky bounces. They've had the own goal, and they had that unlucky bounce. Listen, that's already a 1-goal game if those two happen, right? If there's no own goal early on in the game to make that game 2-0, and if that goal goes in, right? Well, it's a 3-2 game. 1 goal is much more doable than 3.
And efficiency is on the side of Colorado. They were shooting 50% in that last game, 4 for 8, whereas Cincinnati 1 for 11. Not going to do it, and it's not like they really have a lot of time to correct for that. This is match point, best of 5 in this quarterfinal. Colorado takes 1 more, and Cincinnati have to take all those misses, treat them with some lament. They're going to have to take their bags and go home. So going into this next game here, really curious to see the adjustments that need to be made. They've had the offense. It's really not that last touch that they need.
All they need now is for the ball to go their way, right? Obviously, both teams want to have that ball going into their opponent's net, right? They obviously want to show what they can do. And so, Colorado, it would be an upset in terms of seeding. I wouldn't see this as an upset if Colorado won, though. Cincinnati has been very strong, and they've shown that they're able to show up to these games. And you know what? I have no problem thinking that Cincinnati could force a comeback here. But Colorado is just so strong in the first place. You can't just expect Colorado to take it lying down.
Oh, and they won't really be treating it like that either. They're playing with a lot of pace, just hitting the ball straight forward, forcing out some a little bit uncomfortable touches from Cincinnati. J-Dimes trying to do likewise. However, they are going to be rejected. Another ball to the corner. For Ezio to serve back in. It's on target. Not past Flover. Coming up big in previous games is Flover. This time making their statement on defense. J-Dimes chucks one in, and Tricks trying to come upfield, and they're going to get caught out.
They are definitely caught out, and I mean, look at this. That's just beautiful. The demo coming in, and the defender is just a little bit late, right? And so, comes in a little bit late. He pays the price.
First coming through with a flip reset, just not going to be enough. A little bit off target. J-Dimes will send another one on the backboard. This time Starvin there to meet him. Demo in the backfield. Ezio there to save things off the corner. They're going to chase it again. Good 50 to keep things alive. J-Dimes another one off the backboard. Flover comes in, gets dunked by Burst, and Burst with a brilliant pass to Ezio, but they slow things down. They go for the fake, and that's going to get rejected. Playing a little bit too cute on that touch, and still going to be a 1-goal game.
A little bit too cute, you say, huh? That is definitely what I would call that. A little bit too cute. And that's all I can say about that, right? That is just an oof.
And sometimes those fakes seem like a great idea. The problem is it kills any other potential to accelerate that ball and beat a defender sometimes. So if your first plan on the fake doesn't work, sometimes it's really your only plan. Cincinnati hoping that doesn't come back to bite them. Still got the lead as we crossed into halftime. They just need to hold it to extend this series. Colorado going back to that long play. A lot of hits onto the backboard. And now with the demo, there's nobody back to prevent Flover from putting one in.
No one stop. Who's going to stop him? There's no one there. So the game is now tied at what? Off of the ceiling that goes. And it's beautiful because if he needs to come in there and double tap it, that's probably a save. And so that is clutch from the ceiling there. Props goes to that ceiling.
I mean, the ceiling's such a reliable teammate. You pass to it, it always passes back. So it's really more you can ask from than your teammates as Colorado will bump into each other. But likewise, using your teammates gets a nice pinch out. J-Dimes clears one. Burst actually double commits on this. Ezio close enough. Make sure that mistake doesn't bite. J-Dimes keeps it alive. The chase into the corner doesn't result in anything. Trix will send it off of the infield pass to the corner. Open shot. It's saved by J-Dimes. Well done by Cincy as they're still holding on here. Tie game with under 2 minutes to go. Colorado, I mean, I'd say they've woken up, but really they've never been asleep since that last game that we saw them. It's really just both sides getting great offense, and I wonder who's going to break first as we enter the final 90 seconds.
Oh my goodness. Well, we might be seeing the early stages of an overtime right here, right? Who's going to give in first? Who's going to make that first mistake? Colorado, just a little bit of miscues in the defense here, and they're not going to get this ball cleared out in time. And look at that. A massive miscue there. Almost led to a goal. Had that shot by J-Dimes been any faster, Flover would have had no time to get back into the net to make that save.
Ball off the corner. J-Dimes can't read that, but there's plenty of space in the midfield. Try to dribble it across. They'll demo Flover. Steals that back boost. First forced to slow down. A little bit of a giveaway, but straight to the ceiling. J-Dimes, they're quick up for it. Do they have the double? They don't. Burst on the follow to the far post. Great save, and it will be rejected. Starvin trying to start a counter of their own. They're past Ezio. They're past J-Dimes. They're past everyone, and that's the lead.
32 seconds on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet. Because Colorado here are about to provide the quote-unquote upset. The 12 versus the 5 seed. They're doing it. They're doing it, Taco.
Well, they're doing it, but they haven't done it quite yet. They have to hold on, and that's why the demo opened up the gateway, and J-Dimes is going to march straight through.
24 seconds left. And here we go. Here's Cincinnati saying, yeah, one goal isn't going to put us in the coffin. We're able to kick out of it. You might put one nail in. But we got the crowbar to get out. It'll take more than just a nail.
Holding on, and they might have to hold on for a little bit longer, hoping for overtime. Although Colorado would like to take it earlier than that. Now on the far side, Burst keeping it extended. Ezio on the near post. It's a great save. One final chance. It's going to be bouncing on the goal line. Starvin long clear. And we will be seeing overtime. Cincinnati scores. This game in this series keeps going on. However, Colorado looking to end this series and march on through this bracket with one more. We've been seeing a 4-minute overtimes. Who knows how long this one might stretch.
It's off the ceiling, my bad. And I mean, look at that. It's so close to going in. But it's a one-on-one situation. He puts it off on the other side. That is beautiful. They're able to keep ball possession instead of going for that 50. And now Colorado doing the smart thing. They've got all the offense. Can they get the ball in the offensive zone? Can they keep it there? No, Burst is going to get it out. And look at that beautiful flick. It's a 1v2. And Burst, he will get it past them. What a beautiful fake there.
Where does he find the confidence to cut it on a dime, Quantum, and then tucks it in on the far post? What a way to stand up and make yourself known. Game 5 incoming.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I told you to stand up. I consider you guys to continue standing up because, oof, this one is spicy. Game 5 is coming very, very soon here, and I don't know what to say. This is Cincinnati fighting back here. They are not dead. they are going to need something incredible for Colorado here to put them in the grave for good.
I mean, it's close wins from Cincinnati outside of that one kind of explosion of offense. So heading into game number 5, really anybody's game. For me, I'm just still so stuck on burst confidence. If they can play like that, I think I might have to give the edge to Cincinnati, but Colorado always such a danger. We're going to head right back into it. 5 minutes at least to separate these two teams. The winner moving on here in this single elimination to try to crown our league champions. And we might get an opener early on from J-Dimes. A good reaction on the save. Tricks on the follow, gets a flick, but going to be saved away. So both teams getting their opener, but going to return back to the midfield.
Return to sender pretty much at this point, right? And I mean, both teams are going to try it. It's all about who can keep the offense going for a long period of time. Once you get a team in the defensive zone for a long time, they get tired. They need that ball to be cleared out to get those few second breathers there. And when you're stuck in your own zone, you don't have time to breathe, right? You have that dragon or whatever you fear the most breathing down your neck. What's Colorado's mascot, actually?
I believe it's a boulder. I'm just kidding. That's a town, but
it's boulders breathing down your shoulders.
It's just a big rock. These big rocks doing very well here to be able to continue holding on to this defense. However, they're going to have to keep it going as Cincinnati played a lot of venom on a lot of these attacks. They're getting some nice moves forward, and now they're going to actually have a lot of space as Ezio looks for J-Dimes, but no contact. First 90 seconds down, still looking for goal number 1 in this game.
You know, let me take off a little bit of the tension here. Boulder, is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's older, bigger brother? Like more built, you know? Like you got The Rock and then you got the Boulder, you know?
I'm totally down for that. It's canon that I will accept. And right now, Cincinnati, I mean, they're the ones seeming like they're trying to chip away at that boulder as another couple of saves come out, but that dunk just a little bit too much.
Yeah, look at this here. I think who is this that's got this? Oh, Starvin absolutely had this, and Flover steals the ball away and puts it on the hood of Burst there. Oh no. Slight miscue there. Double commit on the defense. Starvin absolutely had that, and well, it's a 1-goal lead now. Hindsight is 2020. Too bad we're in 2021 now.
Just the brutal facts coming in from Quantum. all cast log is you're gonna get into halftime, and Cincinnati trying to really steal away this series as it's been a little bit back and forth. However, they've been valiant in their efforts, and they might actually open up a chance. Unfortunately, no one thought to go for that one, but this one is a different story. Ezio putting in number 2 here right after halftime.
You know, this was no one's series. Funny enough, you're looking at the seeding and you're like, yeah, this is Cincinnati's series to lose right before the series even starts. But you look after 4 games, right? The goals are tied after 4 games. Both teams have the same amount of goals. Right now, obviously, Cincinnati have 2 extra goals. The first 4 games practically were, well, first 5 games, I want to say, right? Because of that overtime. First 5 games are practically useless because of how tight both of these teams are. Not only do they have the same amount of wins, they have the same amount of goals, right? And I bet you that they even have the same amount of shots.
Just that similar.
It's just that similar.
Oh, at least right now, I mean, all these stats, this game is the one that will decide this series, and at least the bracket lives for one of these teams. Colorado finally getting some pressure. Unfortunately, all these little deflections making it very hard to continue the offense. Flover's going to at least try, though they will not find much success. A little bit of a dunk across. Flover can try and keep things interesting. J-Dimes will flick across. Burst is just lurking upfield. Tap back into Ezio. Where is the defense? Ezio has plenty of time on this one. It seems as though Cincinnati almost playing just clock management at this point. They understand it's been very hard for teams to collect multiple goals in a series, and they're just trying to hold on to this lead. They're doing it well, at least so far. There's at least one more save onto the near post. Ezio will get another one, and it'll roll back out into the blue corner again.
This is beautifully played here by Cincinnati, as you're saying, time management is beautiful. They're making sure that they're wasting time by getting the touches that they are. But Cincinnati, are they going to be able to get every single shot here? Because the offense is coming in here from Colorado. And I mean, I hope Colorado do have a trick up their sleeve here. 45 seconds, 3/4 of a minute left. Can they find even one?
Fortunately, that's another shot going just off target for Colorado. They're going to have to get all the way back on defense. And another dunk coming through.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a dagger.
Ugh,
Look at that sharp angle touch. That just put the dagger in the heart for Colorado.
He's just large. He's just a large human, just getting on top of that. No way around it. And that has to be it. Unfortunately, Colorado just does not have the answers. And they have the same number of shots. It's surprisingly even. They forced more saves out of Cincinnati, but at the end of the day, they just can't keep out these shots. And that is the way this one is going to end. Cincinnati taking this one in 5. Colorado putting up a fight. But only the Bearcats will be marching on into the next round. Colorado putting up a good show, showing every single one of the teams in this bracket are just so incredibly even.
And it's sad to see Colorado go this early on. I mean, Colorado, with this performance, absolutely show that they deserve to... Cincinnati were definitely a top 8 team. I think Colorado deserved to at least go to the second round. But you're talking about Cincinnati, right? They also deserve to go to the second round. And only one team could do it. And so, I mean, both of them deserved it. And both of us showed that, well, they wanted it. And Cincinnati, they just had that extra little gas in the tank, right? They just had that little extra power. It's like the batteries at the end of a remote's lifetime, you know? That remote, some batteries will last for a certain amount of length, and after a certain amount of time, the other batteries will just continue on strong, and that's exactly what Cincinnati were. They just continued on strong.
Cincinnati's going to have to hope that those batteries last even longer. We have a whole tomorrow, we have some more games coming up, and we have next week to be able to decide and crown really our champions here for League, but they will be marching on. Best of luck to them. Tough way to end the season for Colorado, but fortunately, that is only the end of this series. We're going to throw you guys to a brief break, but we'll be back the second half of the broadcast carrying on here for the 2021 EGFC League Championships for Collegiate Rocket League.
We believe in community and in ourselves. We create, adapt, discover. And when confronted by uncertainty, we don't stand idly by. We never have. We get involved, lead by example, even when things are tough. Especially when things are tough. We take action because Villanovans are like that. Stronger together. Ignite change. Go Nova.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the EGFC Season 2 Rocket League Championship Weekend. And goodness gracious, this is such a fantastic time. I'm Meet and Greek, joined with me. You've already seen Quantum Death Cat hanging around here earlier on. We just went through the awesome series, University of Cincinnati against University of Colorado. It went to a Game 5 overtime, or not overtime, goodness, but multiple games went to overtime. Game 5 was a little, it started to get a little bit carried away, but that was a great series.
Yeah, Games 2 and Games 3 were very one-sided. Game 5 was one-sided as well, so great to see. But that entire series was awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? We're about to have a great one here, QD. RIT going up against Villanova, the 7th seed. Let's not even talk about it. Let's get this game show on the road. 5 minutes on the clock. These players, they're not waiting for anything.
Of course they're not. Why would they? They've been waiting for us long enough here. And we're got our show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great series, I think. Villanova, not the strongest team, but RIT definitely are. The last 2 series, I expected 5-game series, right? I expected absolute neck-breaking ties, right? And is already showing me what they're expecting because, yeah, it's gonna. I think this is a 3-0.
Well, but Quantum, the winner of this series, they're gonna have their work cut out for them because in the next round they're gonna have to face the winner of UT Arlington and Wichita State. And goodness gracious, just seeing those two teams pop up in this bracket, it's scary. It's scary. But for now, let's stick to this game. Best of 5 still, of course, and no one's striking yet, but we'll see what can happen.
I mean, look at this, right? Like you look at the stats for Villanova, right? They're not the strongest team. They did barely make it in, right? But this was supposed to be Xavier for sure, right? Like we between everyone here, we know that this was supposed to be Xavier, but Villanova able to come in because Xavier could not participate in the tournament, right? For whatever reason, we don't know why, but they just couldn't make it. Villanova are a good replacement team, right? They aren't that bad of a team, but up against RIT, right? Like RIT is the benchmark for. I mean,
let's look at the history between these two teams because I think it's very interesting. RIT, coming in as the 7th seed overall. Villanova, strong 17th. Nothing to laugh at either. Both these teams showing up pretty extensively throughout the EGFC season. But the last time these teams played, which was in Week 9, RIT came away with a 3-0 sweep. So right now, strong start, I would say, from Villanova. You got to slow down RIT. You got to throw some free shots on net. Get this ball, keep it on the blue half. But right now, what I'm really liking is this offensive pressure coming through on the side of Villanova. They're not really giving RIT any breathing room.
And I mean, RIT, funny enough, right? You look at Sebward, and Sebward's one of those guys that's very expressive, right? I think I've had it once when it came to interviews. The guy is super open and he's super expressive, but the entire team right now is expressing just how they feel about this series. I mean, look at these cars, right? Like, one guy's got the Dominus, right? That's pretty standard, right? I think that's Joey Dubs with that Dominus. Then you got Sebward with, I don't even know what that car is, right? Like, it looks like the car that cleans the streets with like water. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're saying.
The Proteus. It's called the Proteus. That's right. And Sunblaze has the Sentio, which, I mean, yeah, it's the Batmobile plank hitbox, but at the same time, who uses the Sentio? So it's a mix of odd cars, and it just shows the confidence that radiates from this RIT team. But this confidence needs to turn into goals because there's 80 seconds left. And 0 goals have been scored from either side.
And, I think this bodes well. The fact that there's no goals scored probably bodes more well for Villanova than anything. RIT coming in as the strong favorites for this series, but they're able to keep this ball on the blue half for a considerable amount of time. But watch out for Joey Dubs setting up for Sunblaze. Sebward was in a perfect position to go make a touch on that, but reluctant to do so, electing to play it safe instead, knowing that there's less than a minute to go here. Didn't want to give a free goal opportunity away to Villanova to potentially put this one away. Double commit. He's going to put a shot on target. Riles can't make the save. And this was a bit of a gamble here, going for the double commit, but it pays off.
It does pay off here. Sebward fakes that one out, and I mean, at the same time, Riles almost getting it that one, but can't make the save. And it's 1-0 with 46 seconds left on the clock here. It could be tied at 1 if
be on top of that. Oh, my goodness. Quantum, that was a free ball in front of the net for rebound, but no one was there on offense from Villanova to put it away. That was a free opportunity to tie this one up. Instead, they're still down by just 1 with less than 30 seconds to go.
20 seconds now. You said less than 30. It's already less than 20. As Sebward keeps it into that corner. It's going to be popped up in the air. Who's going to get to it first? This could be the game here. It's still in the zone for RIT, but they're not in any trouble. Weirdly enough, they're in their own zone, but they're only killing time by doing so. Letting the ball hit the ground, and RIT will take the first game, but it's not in dominant fashion.
Well, let's talk about what happened here. RIT You're kind of right. They were kind of forced into their own half for a majority of that game. However, I didn't really see much production come out of from Villanova. If we take a look at their offensive possessions way downfield, they only had 3 shots on goal. For the amount of time that ball was on the blue half, you would expect to have more opportunities. On the other side of things, RIT had only 4 shots on goal, but of course, they were playing defense that entire game. But they didn't really feel the pressure. It was pretty much standard rotations, kept the ball away from the net, keeping it in the corners, away from any real meaningful shots. And they waited for Villanova to make a mistake, and that's when they capitalized and took the lead. Going
I
towards
mean,
game
7
two
shots
now,
on net in total, right? You think about that. That's the average that a team will shoot on net just in a regular game, right? We're used to seeing double of this. So this was a very tentative game from everyone here. And I mean, let's see if that changes at all, right? RIT, as you said, completely just played defense and never really had pressure, right? At the same time, it was a 1-0 game, but it just felt like RIT just had this in the bag. They were just waiting for the opportunity to put it in.
and now we have to take a look at see what will Villanova do here in game two. Now, those double commits that came through from RIT, maybe Villanova can take advantage, put a free shot on net. Riles is going to be there to finish this one off, and the early kickoff goal will strike and bode well for Villanova.
Yeah, that is a beautiful goal. Sebward, I mean, he's no longer got the joke car. He is seriously serious now, but so is Sunblaze. But, I mean, the seriously serious cars won't give you the lead here. It's a 1-0 lead.
That's a good pass. Shot on target. Oh, goodness. Things are starting to heat up here for Villanova. That initial goal, Quantum, really starting to revitalize them. They're starting to take control.
I would say something here. You're poking the bear that is RIT, right? Like, of course, getting 1 goal is nice, but they played it easy on you, I feel, right? Like, that entire first game, they were just playing with their food. That's what it completely felt like. And so, if Villanova here poke the bear just a little too much, you might wake up RIT, and you don't like RIT when they're angry.
Oh, but counterpoint here. Villanova needed a score, but they just were spread out too thin. Take a look at where this defense is. You like the attempt from Riles to try to get that out of their own half. However, just the rotations just did not come quick enough, and RIT able to capitalize, tie this one back up here. Less than a minute played in this game, and both teams have exchanged goals.
If I'm RIT, right, and I'm thinking of which death penalty do I give to Villanova here for even thinking of scoring a goal. I'd say the Brazil is the perfect death penalty here. Let's see if they come through with it. But 3:45 left on the clock. Let's see if Villanova can fight back here, right? I'm overhyping these guys.
Let's take a look at this shot placement here. The setup from Riles is actually perfect for the most confident horse. And, you know, Sebward was in good position, actually, at that back post, but was just a little too far up. Villanova coming through to retake the lead. Let's see if they can hold on to it now, or if RIT will have yet another answer, as Zen's going to take this one out the back.
You know that it's a bad play when your own teammate would have saved you, right? And so that's exactly what we see there. And I mean, they're probably joking around, but at the same time, I might be overhyping RIT just a tad, right? I don't have any bias. No. I'm no Jack Edwards. What am I talking about here? It's 3-1 Villanova. Obviously, Villanova in Rocket League are just as good as Villanova when it comes to like basketball and March Madness.
But on this play here, I want to highlight, where was the defense? That was just a free shot on net. I saw all 3 of the RIT defenders on that back line ready to be in position, but no one went for the save. And now RIT, tisk. Bad. No, you got to get up for that ball. Someone just miscommunicated there. And now looking at this game, game 2, significantly different from game 1. Villanova really starting to take control here. But again, we're still not even at the halfway point. Let's see if RT can bring it back.
I'm sure they could. I mean, it's only 2 goals here, but I mean, Villanova are still the only team right now who could theoretically Brazil still in this game, and so I did say death penalty by Brazil. What if it was Villanova winning by Brazil? I mean, it's 3-1. It could almost be 4-1 there. I mean, still in the offensive zone. The pressure this time around, when Villanova are in the offensive zone, game 1, there was no pressure. In game 2, look at this pressure. The amount of pressure they're throwing RIT right off of their railings. They're like train off of rails.
Could be a train off of rails, or RIT just needing to find a spark here to reignite their engines. Let's see if they're able to do so here under 2 minutes to go. They're starting to apply some pressure, force the last defender. Good stop on that backboard, keep it away from the offense, but again, still finding themselves in an uncomfortable position. All three of the defenders here on that line, but no one's there to make the save. Zen barely gets up, but that's what I'm really worried about. If you're Villanova, you have all three defenders there, but no one in a very comfortable position to make the save. Here comes Sunblaze. It bounced away, and this ball is going to finally be cleared. But RIT starting to speed things up.
With, I mean, look at this. 70 seconds on the clock here. RIT have no offense here whatsoever. 68 seconds on the clock. Probably that would have gone in just a little bit faster there. But Wilds with another goal here. And I thought, no. I thought the horse stole that, but apparently he didn't. But, oh my goodness. Sebward could make that save. They're 3 goals down. They need to score a goal every 22 seconds at this point to be able to tie up this game and bring it to overtime. That's all they need to do to bring it to overtime, right? Easy enough, right? Completely easy.
It'd be a tall order for sure. But right now, maybe it's just something for RIT to think about going into game 3, trying to reset. Looks like Villanova did a fantastic job of turning this series around. I mean, night and day between games 1 and 2. They sure have listened to me. When I was saying bring up this offensive production, they brought it here. 8 shots on net.
Yeah, they've been listening to you a lot more than they've been listening to me. Oh my
Let's
goodness.
see. Oh, beautiful redirect. Sebward was there to make the save, but the confidence right now coming out from Villanova, you love to see it.
I love the confidence, and I mean, why wouldn't you be confident? You're up by 3 goals on RIT. This would be quite the upset, but the upset will need to wait because we still have at least 2 more games of Rocket League here before that could even be thought of. Villanova will need to replicate what they just did 2 more times to be able to call this an upset.
Just taking a look here at game 2, seeing what happened. Well, Villanova scored 4 goals on 9 shots. You know, just a little bit under 50% conversion rate. Pretty good. RIT, though, not without their own offense as well, were able to have 15 shots on net, but only had 1 goal to their credit. So, again, the production was there for RIT, but it was more quality over quantity, and it just didn't work out in their favor for game 2. Now, if you're RIT going into game 3 now, there were a lot of opportunities that Villanova was able to get, a lot of really great scoring chances that they're able to capitalize on. That, you know, RIT, there were some very difficult saves in there. You take out 1 or 2, it becomes a little bit of a closer game. But I need to see more aggression from this RIT defense. Or, sorry, offense.
Offense. It just
Well,
more of
defense
RIT
too, right?
in general. Like, where are they? They've scored 2 goals all series long, right? Like, this is unlike them normally. They are definitely a more offensively minded team, so where's the offense, right? Where are they?
Well, let's find out here in game 3. Fresh 5 minutes on the clock, and right away, production starting early here for Villanova. Let's see if they can score first.
I mean, like you said, right? Quality over quantity. 15 shots is nothing to sneeze at. Not that you should be sneezing in the first place in this time and age, right? But
yeah, watch out. There should be a shot on target from Zen, but didn't have enough boost in the tank to get there. excellent opportunity goes by the wayside, but again, it's the first team who's getting these opportunities is Villanova. Surprising for sure, but a welcome one. Look at this. The most confident horse scoring here. And take a look at this angle, really threading the needle.
A definite look at how confident he is coming in there and putting it in the low corner short side. Two players would have been able to stop it had he shot higher or more towards the far side. He picks his shot and he puts it right in the beautiful, right in the perfect spot there. And Riles with a beautiful demo, stopping the play from actually developing. But Sebward, he is going to continue the plays. Sunblaze started, and we're tied at 1 with the funny number left to play.
Oh man, you know, this was such an awesome angle for Subword, and you got to feel for, I believe it was Horse was the last one on defense, trying to make that save. Tough one to make. And we were tied up. This could be what RIT was looking for to revitalize this offense. All it really takes sometimes is just that one goal to bring the spark back. Let's see if they can get something going here with Joey Dubs, bring this all the way downtown on their own. Gets it towards the center, but again, that's just not going to cut it. That ball is too close to the defense on that goal line. They're going to have a routine clear.
Popped up in the air, Sunblaze. He'll get it over to Sebward. The shot is beautiful because of Sunblaze's demo. The most confident horse turns into a pile of guts all over the field.
Oh, and this is a fantastic heads-up play from Sunblaze there, opening up that defense. That ball might have been still too threatening to make the save, but I just love the attitude, the aggression coming out from RIT.
Oh, no.
Definitely clearing things up as Sunblaze has to do the impossible, make the save, go into the goal, and follow back and make another one. A lot going on here in the RIT defense.
A lot going on for sure. Their defense seems a lot stronger at this point in time. Their offense also coming alive once again. They've gotten themselves their first lead since, well, they scored their one and only goal in game 1. Let's see if they can continue on with that
double tap. Oh, so close. The confidence. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Oh, you definitely do. These guys are going for the clip plays for sure, right? You are obviously going for plays like that when you go for, oh wow, when you're touching the ball in that fashion, you're going for clip plays. And sometimes clip plays are actually the best to go for in that situation. And I mean, poor Zen there. That's not a play you normally clip, but
let's talk about what set that play up, though. You see Horse trying to bring that ball around the corner, had an unfortunate touch and then bounced directly off the ceiling into the clutches of the offense, and a kickoff goal happens, and all of a sudden nothing makes sense in this game. Oh, the poor defense of RIT, they just, you know, they actually played the kickoff correctly, but unfortunately for them, the ball just had an unfortunate bounce.
No, I was talking about this with Taco. Talking about the Unreal Engine and the Unreal physics that sometimes you feel like you hit the ball, right, in a certain direction. The ball just goes in a completely other direction for no reason, right? No rhyme or reason. And so that's what I like to call the Unreal own goals, you know, or the Unreal kickoff goal, as this one shall be called, because, I mean, that ball clearly shouldn't have gone into that direction, but I mean, the engine just decided, yep, that's a goal. Just like that, the one there. We're tied at 3, ladies and gentlemen. 2:20 left on the clock.
Well, let's take a look at what happened here. Sunblaze and Subword find themselves in the same corner. That means no one's in net, and it just gives Riles the perfect opportunity to give this to Horse. Throw a free shot on an empty net, of course. No one's there to save it. It's just going to roll right in.
Not only is there no one in net when you double come into a corner, that means only one person is coming out of there with boost, and the other person is just stuck there like in no man's land. So that absolutely ruins your rotations already. That, well, your rotations are ruined. It makes it even worse.
It's absolutely true. As right now, Villanova is starting to light a fire underneath RIT, and they are getting uncomfortable. You can see this defense desperately trying to get a touch on this ball to get it clear, but they're just unable to get it out of their zone. Zen's going to hit that one center. It's all up to Riles. Your most confident horse. As Joey Dubs is going to get 1, 2, and 3 touches. They don't go on target, though. But that was scary.
The double tap came through, and it went off the floor. And then he went for the triple tap, and that one just went straight down. Right, a 90-degree hit. Sadly did not go in, but that was... You could still clip that if you want to, but... RIT definitely not going for the smart plays most of the time, right? You see Villanova making team plays, right? Passing it to each other. They are absolutely teaming it up. But at this point, RIT just looked like they're doing solo plays, no?
Well, actually, I disagree. I see a lot of passes coming out from RIT. It's just unfortunate that they're getting in each other's way. You can see it right there. Sunblaze and Sebward were kind of caught right underneath the ball. And you have to give Villanova a whole lot of credit for realizing those situations and getting just at least one person into the mix to jumble things together. And you gotta really respect Villanova as well for really coming out and playing very hard against this RIT team. You know, when I was looking at these two squads, pen on paper, I was thinking, wow, RIT really has the opportunity here to come away with a very clean victory. But Villanova, to their credit, have been working very hard, and they've been making life super difficult for RIT. They're utilizing that backboard. They're putting attempts on target. This ball still in the air. Joey Dubs trying to force this into overtime is able to do so. Our first OT of this series. Who will take it?
I mean, listen, right? Like, Villanova are doing great for sure, but they're not out of the woods yet, right? And of course, this is only game 3, right? Whoever wins this game will have a 2-1 series lead, and it really is all about who's gonna win out the series, right? And so if you can win this, if you're Villanova, you need to win at least game 4 and 5, right? Because it doesn't matter if you win game 3 if you're just gonna lose the series here. You need to keep it up. Do they have what it takes to keep playing at this level?
Love to see what can happen here. Big stuff. 37 seconds into this overtime, it's all over. And you gotta feel for Villanova, but big mistake. Zen and Horse caught on the backboard right next to each other. Oh, that's just unfortunate positioning, Quantum. And you gotta feel for him in that play. RIT just had the easiest opportunity because of that.
Sunblaze pops it up, right? Joey Dubs is already on the wall. He pops it off the back wall. And, Sunblaze is already there, right? So he's going to easily pop this in as the double commit tries to come in, make the save. Villanova, they're a strong team, right? They deserve to be in these playoffs, 100%. But RIT are normally a stronger team than this. It's weird to say. I don't know if it's Villanova overperforming than they normally have during the regular season up against RIT when they did earlier on the season, or if it's RIT underperforming. And I can't tell which is which, actually. Which team has gotten better or worse?
I have to say, RIT, very strong team, finished second in the Eastern Conference. That was out of just 5 teams, of course. Villanova in the Big East. In the 6, that was out of 9 squads, so respectable numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back to the pen on paper, and this should be RIT's series, but you do have to credit Villanova because they're forcing RIT to make these simple mistakes. Now, granted, didn't work out for them in Game 3. RIT ended up winning it in the long run. Let's see if they can close out the series right here. I think if RIT takes it here, there's nothing really to be worried about. Teams will drop games in the series, and these have been close ones for the most part. Let's see what Game 4 shows.
Here's the thing, right? As you said, pen on paper, right? This game looks like it should have been a blowout, right? This game Villanova shouldn't have even scored a goal in this series, pretty much.
Whoa, that's a very bold claim.
If I recall, last time around, they only scored 1 goal against these guys, actually. Villanova only scored 1 goal in their 3-game series, if I recall properly. So, It's not far-fetched to think that they could keep them up to only 1 goal in the entire series. Villanova have been fighting back, and they've been doing so very well. So, like you said, on pen and paper, this Villanova team should not be able to compete, but they are. And they're competing so strongly right now. Yes, they're down 2-1 in the series, but both of those games that they lost were 1-goal games. And the game that they did win was very decisively theirs. Let's see if they can win again decisively in this game 4. They start off with a 1-0 lead.
And right here, Villanova breaking some rules here. In my opinion, the big double commit in that corner worked out for them. It worked out for them because they got that ball into the hands of Zen for that free touch on net. And they're going to have another shot here. Big save from Sunblaze. Keep this one away.
And they actually keep it in the zone too with 2 magnificent bumps there. I think that was by Zen. Zen's been bumping them, and I think that's the biggest thing. Zen has been bodying this RIT team and absolutely just throwing them off their line. A lot of times, I've not given him credit whatsoever. I don't think you have either, but he's just been all over the place. Just keep your eye on him. He goes for these bumps on these guys, and he's absolutely throwing them off of their game, 100%.
You know, bumps and interference, such a critical component of Rocket League. To round out a spectacular team, you need to be able to disrupt your opponent as well and create opportunities for yourself. And that's what Villanova's been doing this entire series. Still holding on to this lead, but they keep this ball in the blue half. Really, the ball, when it goes in the orange half, it's only for a brief stay, maybe 1 or 2 days at most, not a full-length vacation.
Right, exactly. That's like people just, I don't know, going to Disney World, right? Like you can't, most people can't even afford to stay for the night, right? So it's when that ball is in the orange zone, it's like the majority of people going to Disney World, right? It's just, we can't stay here for too long, maybe a night or 2, but they'd love to stay on vacation. That's their dream right now, and I mean, the dream is for them to tie up this game and possibly just win it out here in Game 4.
These teams playing to continue their tournament dreams throughout the rest of this weekend. You know, folks, it's only Friday night, and we have a long weekend ahead of us. So much going on here at EGFC. There's so many other fantastic tournaments going on as well. And while you're thinking about EGFC, also check out EGFH, the high school league going on. So many talented Rocket League up-and-comers coming through there as well.
You definitely want to keep your eye on that.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of these high school players, they're going to be going to college potentially and playing for a lot of these collegiate Rocket League squads. So it'll be kind of awesome to see them progress as they move forward.
Definitely. So I mean, the high schoolers are the future, right? Meanwhile, these guys in the CRL, especially the guys who are in their last semester, right? A lot of these guys are the people who you'll see really take it to the next level, a lot of them, and go pro, right? Because why wouldn't you, right? You're out of college, you've gotten your A game going, and I mean, why wouldn't you go pro if you have the skill for it?
I wish I could say that I got better at Rocket League after I graduated. I think I've actually regressed in my skill because I just have not had as much time. Big goal here, 34 seconds to go. RIT tie it up. And this could spell concern for Villanova as they were hoping to lock themselves into a Game 5, but now they're going to have to really play for it here.
And Zen, I mean, he gets a taste of his own medicine. He gets bumped and sent to the other end of the field after trying to make that save, and that's why we're tied at 1 there. And we could see another overtime between these two teams. What has Villanova done to RIT here? Have they been watching just video replays? Like, what have they been doing? They've been practicing for these guys. Because RIT, like, they're the creme de la creme, right? Like, they're top dogs. What's Villanova done?
let's think about what Villanova has done throughout this series that I think is helping them really bring it to RIT. They've been playing extremely aggressively, and you can tell. You've been mentioning this entire series, a lot of disruption, a lot of bumps, but it's not gonna matter if this one just rolls in. Oh no, Calamity strikes Sunblaze. Oh, Horse just jumped over the ball. And then Blaze and Joey, they just bring it downtown. There was just no defense. RIT,
no.
they take it in 4 games here. They'll take the series 3-1. You know, it's really funny, Quantum, is that all the games here in this series that RIT was able to walk away with a W. They won by only one goal. So that's very impressive. You know,
the
very
1-0, the
very
4-3,
tight series.
now the 2-1. Right, this is a great series for both teams. Villanova, they play this game. They've learned, right. This was a hard-fought series for sure. They learned about their opponents, and RIT on paper this should be their win, right? And it was their series to lose, and it felt at times like Villanova should have taken this, right? But RIT were just at that challenge. It felt, after a lot of time debating what was going on, I think I figured out what happened. It was more of Villanova playing up to the level of RIT more than RIT playing at the level of Villanova. And it definitely showed in the way that they didn't make too many mistakes, right? There was a lot of communication errors, which I find odd, right? Especially out of RIT. They're a team that's been together forever. They don't normally make communication mistakes. Maybe they were tired, right? It's 9 p.m. for most people, right? And what time would it be for them, right? Over at Villanova, over at Rochester.
I can tell you from experience, because I live on the East Coast of America, that is 9:12 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
And these are real gamer hours. It's 9 p.m. on a Friday night. It's the best time to queue. It's when
I never understood that. How can you guys play at this time? But before we go to break, how can you guys play at this time, right? I don't get it. I played my best at 2 p.m. I'm most wide awake then. I got full energy. I got full focus, right? I play best in the afternoon. I don't get how you guys still have energy after going through your coursework, after doing all your homework, right? Like, you barely have time to relax, and you plop your butt down on your chair and you play your best Rocket League at 9 p.m. I don't get it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a small break, and we're going to present to you the last series that we have upcoming.
We got DePaul University going up against Seton Hall. It's going to be a great one. You're watching the EGFC Season 2 League Championships this whole weekend, folks. We'll be right back.
We do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Welcome back, everyone. We have our next matchup ready for y'all. The players are in the lobby. I got Quantum Deathcat here, ready to go. We have DePaul University going up against Seton Hall. And now, Quantum, we gotta bring up a little bit of history as these players joined the field with pretty fresh 5 minutes on the clock. But all the way back in week 1, Seton Hall took a 3-0 sweep against DePaul. So this could be revenge. This could be a revenge tour for DePaul University if they come through.
I actually feel this. I think DePaul actually have this. I'm not gonna lie. Seton Hall are a strong team by far, but DePaul has gone through trials and tribulations, right? And while I don't want to, that's just my opinion. This is a 5-game series. I think DePaul has this.
We'll have to see what happens. Big prediction coming here from my co-caster. I think it's going to be very close. I think Seton Hall is going to come on top, though. I think it's going to be them in 4. 3-1, that's my prediction for this one.
If if they do win 3, I'm guessing the 4th game is going to be overtime. If Seton Hall score and win the series, right? Well, then obviously they score and win the series. But if it goes to Game 5, the winners will be default for the series.
Oh, I like this. Let's go to game. I want to see this go to Game 5. That'd be fun. We haven't seen a Game 5, at least for us personally tonight. You saw one earlier with Cincinnati and Colorado. That was a very great series. So you always love to see these games go the distance, these entire matches. So right now we're still in the early stages of Game 1. No one's striking first yet. Both teams playing very calm, collective, waiting. Oh, that could have been an excellent opportunity. Wraith is able to get on top of that one to keep it away. Actually, Black Wraith is going to be able to almost hit that one on target instead of get stopped early.
No, what's funny is that we have yet to have a sweep. And, I mean, normally, right, I don't know about you, but when I cast, I get a lot of sweeps during the regular season. These playoffs have been so tight.
Oh, don't forget, though, these are the playoffs for a reason. All these teams earning their spot in contention here. They're going to be playing their hearts out, trying to move on into tomorrow's part of the bracket. See who's going to be playing in the EGFC Season 2 championship games. That's going to be next weekend as well, Championship Sunday. Of course, let's see what happens. There's Wraith has a one-on-one opportunity. Can't put it on target, just a little bit too high. Not threatening enough.
It's weird to say, right? But, like, these games, going to Game 4, Game 5, right? Like, going the distance, when in the regular season, they were sweeps, right? And it's so odd. Right, at the same time, as you say, it's playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we can see here, because, I mean, we've already gotten more than halfway through this game. Nothing's happened, but it just felt like there's non-stop action.
Continue on. Remember, the last time these teams played was all the way back in Week 1, of course, so a lot could have... Whoa, hold on! How did this one bounce in? I thought for sure this would have... gonna rebound away. Instead, Vibes finds this one in, and it looks like it just had a slight tap in over Black Wraith. Unfortunate there.
That looked like it hit the post, didn't it?
It did look like it hit the post. It looked like that was gonna be clear in a way. Instead, we have a little bit of confusion coming out here on the side of the ball.
I'm gonna call that an unreal bounce. How about that?
we could sure call it that. Or just unlucky positioning from the defense on that play. Lavish, this one's going to be a free opportunity. Someone needs to be up for it. Wraith is there. Black Wraith able to hit this one true and clean, and the entire defense had an opportunity to get this one, but unfortunately just weren't able to make contact.
No, what's funny is that I was about to say that, oh my goodness, Black Wraith is pushed up so far there. He's going to miss this. And yet, he gets that ball. He gets all of it. He doesn't get too much speed on it, but who needs speed when you got the accuracy to put that ball in the perfect position where no one can reach it?
Sometimes it's all about position and shot placement more than the actual speed and where the defense really is. So
I completely agree with that. We're tied at 1, 77 seconds on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, there's nothing separating these two teams right now other than maybe external stats. But right now, we only look at what the scoreline is. And if we're looking at it now, it's 2-1 for, guess who? DePaul.
It's super unfortunate. You can see Bloody was last one back on that goal line. Just couldn't time that bounce. Couldn't get the read quite proper. This one slides by DePaul University. They're going to take the lead here at the final minute. They're going to actually try for more. Here comes Shakuki, the shot on target. And it's true. 2-goal lead.
Shakuki takes that from Black Wraith, and Black Wraith, having been a part of every single goal, it's 3-1 with now 57 seconds on the clock. This one is slipping between the axles of Seton Hall here. They need to come up big.
DePaul really showing up here. They're hungry for more, putting more shots on target. They may have a 2-goal lead, but they're going to try to pad it as much as possible, take away as much momentum away from Seton Hall going towards game 2. You don't want to give them a breath of fresh air here, as Shakuki's going to bring this one off the sidewall. Bloody couldn't get a touch on it, but Green's last one back with vibes. Lavish is going to find this one center. Here comes Black Wraith, who might have a shot at target, trying to go for the pinch. You love to see it. The creativity's coming out. 20 seconds to go.
Why wouldn't you go for that kind of play, right? You're up by 2 goals, and you are in the offensive zone there. You got the confidence, right? You see that play develop. You feel like, yes, I can do this. I will be able to get this one. And sadly, his shot just goes wide. And sadly for Seton Hall, they get beat out here in game number 1. We will see if they could come back here in game number 2, because DePaul, they took them to town.
They did, but you know, it's only game 1, so a lot can change throughout the series. It's going to be a long best of 5, of course, so anything can really happen. Just taking a look at the score line here. Let's run a little bit through the shot count here. 13 shots on goal for DePaul. It's really representative of how much time this ball is spent on the blue half. Hofstra, a little bit unproductive on their offense, having only 4 shot opportunities themselves. So I need to see a little bit more production come out from Hofstra. I need to see some offensive capabilities. Oh, goodness, wait. Have I been saying it's not Hofstra? That's Seton Hall.
Yeah.
I got faked out by the scoreboard, folks. Oh goodness. Seton Hall though.
Vibes was not vibing with that name either, as you can tell.
Hold on. It's only game 1, so a lot can happen here. We see a lot of ebb and flow between matches here. If you take a look from last game, I mean, Villanova had a 4-1 victory in game 2, and then look how that turned out. So you can't really put all of your eggs in one basket after seeing just one showing. We have to see what these teams are capable of going forward.
Let's see what these two can do. Game number 2 is going to go underway here. 1-0 lead for DePaul University. And it's off, ladies and gentlemen.
It's off indeed. Fresh 5 minutes on the clock. Seton Hall is going to start early. Trying to bring this ball around town, but unfortunately for them, Black Wraith is going to meet them and try to bring this ball out of the zone. Green's going to put this one center. Is actually going to put it on target. Take a look at this angle. Did not need any help from teammates at all. It's really the self-setup here, impeccable. And the placement, amazing.
That's actually a triple tap. Now, he double tapped it off the sidewall there, and then follows it after jumping off of the wall to reset his jump and flips into it. That is sick. That is absolutely sick.
Pure mechanical showing here. As Shakuki going to take this one downtown, unable to do so. Green's going to attempt to bring this one out the back. That one's going to be clear downtown, but to nobody. Shakuki's going to be able to take possession, but takes too much time. He's going to give it an opportunity here for Seton Hall. Black Wraith able to clear this one away. That one's on target.
Oh, no.
Big demo. But it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't even go into the favor of DePaul. This one just finds its way into net.
Now you see him, and now you don't. I mean, in hockey, when you just clear the puck and you go on off the bench, even if you get an assist or a goal, if you're not on the ice when the thing goes in, right, you're absolutely not getting that plus minus. Well, he was completely off the field there. He was nowhere to be found, and yet he still got the goal.
Less than 4 minutes to go here. Early 2-goal lead for Seton Hall. Can they keep it going? Lavish, unable to do so. Here comes Shakuki. Puts it on target. Hold on. Let's take a look at where the defense was. It kind of just became a little discombobulated. Green and Bloody kind of both went for the same. They had a double commit, and it ended up working drastically against them. They had an unfavorable bounce. Led to that free shot opportunity. You just can't have that.
And green blood spilled everywhere as they hit each other there. 3:35 left on the clock here, and it's 3-1 for Vibes here. He said he was vibing. Of course he is. It's literally in his name. Green passes it down. And Lavish, I mean, he just could not turn in time. The turning radius of the Fennec, not that good.
Car choice among players, always a contentious topic.
You know
Right
why
now.
the Fennec is so well loved, right? It's not because it's Octane hitbox. There was actually a tournament that happened the day that the Fennec came out. The same day that the Fennec came out, there was a tournament, and a player named Chaussette45, a French player, came out, and he and his team, complete underdogs, won the tournament, and he was using the Fennec. On the very first day it was out. It's unheard of to play with a different car, right? With everything going on, right? How dare you play with a car that's not established, right? Like the Dominus or the Octane. And that's, from that day on, the Fennec became a car that was inside of the main, now we consider it the main 3. At the time, the main 3 was the Batmobile, right? The Batmobile was what people used to use. And so
comes
that's
down to all player personal preference and what these players really love to play. You know, you can't ever fault them for car choice.
Of course not. And you look at it today, right? Who's using the Batmobile? Who's using the plank? The plank hitbox? No one is anymore. And that's just the meta changing. The meta change.
As we take a look at the clock, as it hits the 2-minute mark right now, trying to see what DePaul can do here. Bring things back. They slowed down Seton Hall's offense quite a bit, but they have not been productive on their own offensive half here. And Green's gonna have another free shot, and you can tell that DePaul understands that they collectively made a huge error here.
Yeah, all 3 of them just, I mean, look at that, overstepping boundaries, right? Just overdoing it a bit. And can you fault anyone really for these mistakes? It's more of a team error more than just one person, right? So
I thought you were going to ask me, can you fault anyone for that? And I was about to say, oh yes, I can. Yeah, I will.
Who are you going to fault?
But a good opportunity, but no one is there. All 3 of the Seton Hall players caught off guard, and that was a free open net, but no one from DePaul available to put a shot on. And that's just unfortunate.
Point to them. Point to the criminal. Whose fault is it? You said you could absolutely fault someone. Point the finger. Who is it?
I was going to say all 3 on that play.
Okay, guys. So the entire team.
Absolutely. Let's see, though, if they can make up for it here in the final minute of play. They have to score 3 goals. It's quite a tall order here, but yeah, hey, I've seen crazier things in Rocket League. But they have to start with just 1. Let's see if they can get that.
Crazy things in Rocket League. I mean, that is just the definition of the game, right? The game is all about craziness. You get all these double taps, these flip resets, right? I mean, some people do triple flip resets in the same aerial, right? To score a goal. You know how hard that is to do? One guy earlier today, who was that? I think that was during the Colorado Cincinnati game, where a fake flip reset turned into a pass. He faked the shot and passed it out, and he forced everyone to go for the shot. And I mean, the net was wide open because of it. So, I mean, this game is absolutely nuts, right? The big brain that needs the
big shot on target from Black Rain. It goes in. 21 seconds to go. And DePaul University only down by 1.
Oh my goodness. I mean, look at this, right? They were down by 3 with less than a minute to go. And now with 20 seconds left, I mean, less than a minute, you need to score 1 goal every 20 seconds. They scored 1 with 40 left. They scored 1 with 20 left. And now they could score 1 right there. Shakuki misses the ball with a bump off of the kickoff.
Take a look. Big bump on the play here, coming from Blackrave and Shakuki, clearing the defense. Tied game, 16 seconds to go. DePaul University trying to get into match point. Can they do it?
Can they do it is the biggest question. 10 seconds left. And will this be a throw from the side of Seton Hall, or one of the best comebacks we've seen in these playoffs? I'm pretty sure that this would be the comeback game of the playoffs. And if DePaul wins this, especially if they go up 2-0 in the series. No. That needs to go down. Lavish, you can't have that. Fun stats. 7 goals so far for this DePaul team. 5 of them belong to Black Wraith.
Look at this one. Shakuki scores early in overtime. The 1-2-3 passes. Look at this. Black Wraith to Lavish, who hits it down for Shakuki. Bloody was in position, but lost all momentum going backwards. Couldn't move forward quick enough. DePaul, they take game 2 in the most improbable fashion. And now they are sitting at match point. I almost saying again, the scoreboard is lying to me. Seton Hall University. What happened? They just threw their lead away.
Okay. You know, I'm actually going to use the Hofstra right now. Seton Hall in that last minute turned into Hofstra. That's exactly what happened.
Wow.
That is
my goodness.
The
My
biggest
apologies to
meltdown
Hofstra
I've
players.
ever seen in EGF, I think. Especially considering this is playoffs, right? You're down 1-0 in the series. You're up 4-1 in the game. Like, less than 60 seconds left. All you have to do is waste the clock, right? You just defend your net properly. They didn't do that. They didn't defend. How do you let in 4 goals in 60 seconds?
Here's what happened. They started to panic. DePaul University, they got a lot of momentum, and they just could not be stopped. You can just tell the way they were moving the ball around the field. They just were just playing too fast for Seton Hall to keep up, and it ended up going well into their favor. Now let's go into game 3. Can DePaul get the revenge? Can they get the 3-0 sweep over Seton Hall? That would be so impressive.
Can DePaul get the first sweep here tonight? And as you said, get the revenge, or will Seton Hall wake up from that, right? See, imagine being called playing like Hofstra at the end of that game, right? And they absolutely did. They absolutely just died. I don't know what happened to the Seton Hall team, but they flipped like a switch.
This is just super unfortunate here, but Shakuki was in perfect position. I mean, tough angle. You got to feel for Lavish. They're trying their best to make the save, but things are starting to fall apart here on the side of Seton Hall. And if you're them now, you gotta really think here and really calm down. You know, this series, not quite over yet. You still have plenty of opportunities. You scored 4 goals last game, but you just cannot keep on giving all this momentum to DePaul, and they're giving 3 opportunities off that backboard as well. They're lucky no one went up for it.
Free cookies all around.
Everything's free at this point on the side of Seton Hall. Let's see if DePaul can take advantage of this play. Unable to do so, but Black Wraith is going to bring this one to Shakuki. Can't really put anything together there. Things are starting to slow down a bit. Maybe could be an opportunity for Seton Hall to get this ball out of their own zone, but they're having trouble.
Yeah, they really are. Seton Hall is struggling. It just, especially that game too, right? I'm sorry to say, but there's nothing more demoralizing, right? Like, of course you want it to light a fire under them, right? Of course you want to think positively in that case, but there's nothing positive about having a 4-1 lead and blowing, right? That's an absolute bonus. And you need a reverse sweep now. You're in that situation where the series, especially down 1 goal already this early on, the series just feels out of hand, right? It all comes down to Lady Luck, and they have no Lady Luck right now. They have 0, nilch, nada, zilch, not nilch, zilch, 0, no luck at all, none.
Let's think about what's going on here for Seton Hall. You can call it a little bit of an unfortunate situation, or you can call it a catastrophe, and it's
I'd like to call it cataclysm.
However, there's still 3 minutes to go here. Still plenty of opportunity for them to bring it back. This ball team, though, has not let off the gas this entire time. This ball has just been staying on this blue half for way too long. If you're Seton Hall, you need to start collectively thinking as a team. I need to see more pass plays come out. Instead of clearing the ball downfield, try to give it to one of your teammates. Try to set up a pass play, click 1-2, maybe set up a shot on goal. Create an opportunity for yourself. You still have plenty of time, still have half the game left. And I want to see Vibes get something here. Here comes Green. This ball's going off the backboard. Now we're starting to see them cook a little bit in this kitchen. And they have all the ingredients together, Quantum. But can they make it happen?
I mean, look at this. This game is evolving at the speed of light. These guys are just going back and forth here. And the chances for Seton Hall are coming through. But whenever they get one, it feels like DePaul gets 5 more of their own. And I said it earlier, it feels like a cataclysm. And, I mean, just throw them back into it. Shakuki is turning this into a bloodbath. And the aftermath of this series, it's not looking good.
Wow, take a look at that touch from Shakuki, though. That was actually very impressive. Able to utilize that one last dodge into the ball. Get that tap in. 3-goal lead here. I mean, for DePaul, it's looking really great, but goodness gracious, Seton Hall. Need to see some life from them. They're going to be able to bring this one back, but Lavish almost had a free opportunity there. It looks like for Seton Hall, at least, they're just barely getting back in time to make some of these saves, and that's unfortunately putting themselves in these situations. That one slides right by. Wraith in position, but could have been a very dangerous play. And I need to see a goal here from Seton Hall. They need to bring this back.
Definitely, and I completely agree with you. Oh my goodness, they need to bring this back somehow. You know, as a caster, right, we have stuff stuck in our minds all the time, right? Oh, I wish I said that, or oh, I need to think of a perfect opportunity to say this, right? I never had the opportunity, but I had it in my mind. What a save
this
there!
One's going
and that's finally a goal. By bloody Vig there, finally, and we could see the same cataclysmic meltdown here by DePaul made that Seton Hall had. They have 2 goals to score within 62 seconds here. 1 goal every 31 seconds. This is doable if you're Seton Hall.
The math checks out, folks. Big play opportunity here for Seton Hall. Can they bring this back? Force a game 4. You don't want to get swept here. This is the playoffs, of course, so every opportunity like that one does not go by lightly. Good chance here for DePaul to close this one out. Watch out for Lavish, who puts this one in threatening position. Green is last one back, gets in front of it, keeps it alive. 37 seconds left. They need to score here now if they want to bring this close.
Oh, I mean, they had a 2-goal lead with 25 seconds left, if you remember. Or, sorry, 20 seconds left, if you remember. And, I mean, that's when it crumbled for them. So, they definitely still have the time to score 2, but they need a kickoff goal after scoring this one here. Because
this one's gonna slide it! No, big save! It goes in anyways!
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'm having deja vu. Greek, I'm having deja vu.
This one is... That one almost finds its way outside of there. Instead, it just barely scores. 14 seconds to go. Can Seton Hall pull off the comeback?
Oh, will they have to come back here? I mean, Lavish had his opportunity. It was dashed by Greed. Greed, who didn't even have his car on
That's on target! No, it's not!
Almost gets
I
that
thought that was
in!
on target! Oh my goodness!
Oh, no.
So close! Oh my goodness! Seton Hall, that was the shot! Oh my, wow, I would have lost it. I'd have had to realign my glasses after that one, but goodness gracious. DePaul University, hang on, they get the 3-0 sweep. Oh, Seton Hall, that was so close, so close. You got to feel for them for this one, because this was a tough series, and they started to get the magic going there. You could see it. I saw glimmers. Really great team plays coming out. They started to play faster, put DePaul on edge, but they just could not get it going. DePaul will come through with the 3-0 sweep. Goodness gracious, well fought and well earned for this squad.
Rocket League is a 5-minute game, and Seton Hall did not play all 5 minutes here. They definitely came through in their own in the last 90 seconds there, but they had a lot of opportunities that they could have been scored against a few times and not make the scoreline so close, right? I'm thinking of that play by Lavish that Green somehow saved, but at the end of the day, it was a 1-goal game to finish that series off. That was our first sweep of tonight, and it will be our only one, I think, as that was our last series. And, well, I've been keeping this one in since game 1. Seton Hall got sent out to the Hall by the Paul. Yes, I've been keeping that one in for a very long time.
How long?
At least half an hour.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I've been holding that one in for way too long.
Congrats. Congrats to the Paul.
I keep notes on the side like, oh, yes, say this at the end. Please remember to say this. This is too good not to say. It's too cringe not to say. Anyway, I'll let you bring us out here because that was too beautiful, and I don't think I could put this series into words.
So, we spoke a little bit about Hofstra previous in this series, but actually so DePaul University, they're going to be playing the winner of the University of Connecticut and Hofstra University. We're actually going to have that match coming up very shortly on the other official EGF Twitch stream. So folks, don't go anywhere as we slowly transition over to that one. I'm not going to be biased. Probably will be. I got to rep the UConn boys. It's my alma mater. So it's going to be a fun one, folks. It's going to be a great one. You're watching the EGFC Season 2 Championship Weekend. This has been a fantastic one. I'm Meet and Greek, and of course, Quantum Deathcat, my co-caster. Thank you so much for joining me. And, gotta always shout out production as well. Reef in the production booth, bringing the stream out for everyone. Thank you so much to you for always bringing the best action to EGFC. But I think that's it, Quantum.
That is completely it. Again, yes, thank you to Reef for an amazing 3.5 hours, actually 4 hours at this point, right? Yeah, almost 4 hours.
Wow.
We've been together. We've been working together for at least 3 hours. So thank you so much, Reef. Once again, thank you to you for an amazing time. You didn't keep me alone, right? I felt like I was with someone I could talk to at least. And thank you everyone who came to watch, who repped their teams. And well, the season isn't over for 8 teams. And we will be back tomorrow with some more Rocket League. Stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you all next time.